Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here, and welcome back to a new video here on the channel. In today's video, we are not going to be talking about anything Ninjago related, but we will be talking about the brand new LEGO series entitled LEGO Monkey Kid. Now, of course, this has been out for a little while. I just recently watched everything and binged the entire series, so now I'm here to talk about it because I do have some very interesting thoughts about this series overall. So we're going to go into an in-depth analysis of this series. I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on certain plot points that I enjoyed, some certain characters that I thought were pretty good, and then I'll discuss the whole animation aspect of it. And just overall, I will be giving my opinion on this. And right away, I will say that there will be spoilers ahead, just letting you guys know that. This is a formal spoiler warning. I am going to be talking about some, I guess, spoilerific things regarding the storyline. So if you don't want to know anything, I'd highly recommend you go watch this and then come back and watch this video, because just overall, I feel like this is something that a lot of people need to see. And with that being said, something else that I'm not going to do in this video is compare it to Ninjago. Maybe I'll do a separate video about that in the future once Monkey Kid has a little bit more to back it up, but as it stands right now, that comparison simply just is not fair. Ninjago has had much more presence in terms of, I guess, shelf time, screen time, as opposed to Monkey Kid, so it's really not a fair comparison there. Monkey Kid needs to catch up a little bit first before I can actually make a comfortable comparison regarding Ninjago and Monkey Kid. With that being said, though, I feel like if you are a Ninjago fan, you would enjoy Monkey Kid, so definitely go ahead and watch it if you are a big fan of Ninjago, which everyone watching this video most likely is, because this is a Ninjago-based channel. But regardless, let's go ahead and get started with talking about what the story is and what the episodes are looking like. So the actual story itself follows the ancient legend of the Monkey King, and it follows the protagonist named MK, and he kind of stumbles across Monkey King's staff and slowly begins absorbing his powers, and he begins training under the Monkey King himself to combat the evil forces of the Demon Bull King and his family. So right away, we have a very interesting premise here. I really do like this setup. I feel like the world building just overall through this premise is very cool. And again, it's kind of simple. It's not so much a complex premise, but it is one that is rightfully simple. It's good guys versus bad guys. You pretty much get the gist of it. The episodes themselves are basically split up in a very, I guess, similar manner to Ninjago. Monkey Kid does have a pilot episode, or at least a few pilot episodes. It's basically a 45-minute long special of sorts that's kind of like a lead-in to the Monkey Kid series, if that makes sense. It's kind of like almost a mini movie preluding the actual series, which consists of 10 episodes, each running at 11 minutes in length. So obviously it's not that long of a series, and those of you guys that have short attention spans like myself, you guys will pretty much be enjoying this. It's very easy to watch, and the episodes fly by pretty quickly. Again, each one is only 10 minutes, so you're able to sit there and basically watch the entirety of the series in a very appropriate amount of time. It's almost like watching a really long movie, if that makes sense. But I found no problem in watching the entire series front to back. I feel like it's a very good experience, all things considered, and part of that has to do with the characters at hand, which is our beautiful segue into the character portion of this video. So the first character that I want to talk about, I'm only going to be talking about some of my favorites. I'm not going to go into detail on every single character, but I do need to mention MK, the main protagonist of this entire thing. I feel like he's honestly a really good protagonist. He kind of holds that stereotypical protagonist, I guess, ignorance and angst, but that's just to be expected. MK himself is kind of like a delivery driver until he discovers, again, the staff of the Monkey King. Then he starts training under Monkey King, and he slowly becomes, of course, Monkey Kid. But his actual character is really great. He kind of changes a little bit as well. I noticed a little bit of character progression, and he still maintains that same level of teenage angst from the beginning all the way to the end, but I could tell that his character has matured just a little bit in terms of what he was willing to do with Monkey King and how he was trained by him, which of course was also really fun to watch. There are several instances of MK training under the Monkey King, and every single time that they're training together, I can't help but smile because they have a really great relationship, and that kind of leads us into the segue of Monkey King. He's kind of like the older mentor of sorts to MK, but he's not, I guess, as old as, say, someone like Master Wu or any other, I guess, older protagonist, mentor, person thing, but he definitely does deliver in the teaching aspect. He's still young, and he still kind of comments like he's a friend of MK. He's not so much a teacher as he is just like a partner or just a close friend trying to see his friend improve, something like that. They have that kind of relationship. It's not so much the mentor-student relationship that Ninjago has with Master Wu, just for reference. Not comparing, I'm just stating as a reference, that's basically what it isn't. It's totally different from that, and I find that to be pretty refreshing, having a mentor character that's just as young and just as energetic as your main protagonist. That makes for a pretty interesting dynamic. They're almost like brothers in that sense, and I think that's a really good way to, I guess, craft these two specific characters and their relationship. Overall, I feel like those two work really well together, but there are a few other characters that I do need to mention as well, specifically Mei. Mei is, I guess, the equivalent of a best friend to MK. She's kind of there a lot in his journeys, and she has her own stuff going on too. She's from the dragon family, and her main, I guess, way of attacking is with a green dragon of sorts, or that type of power. Again, it's not really explicitly explained in this series what exactly these powers are and where they come from necessarily, but overall I feel like that's a really good power for her to have. She's also very like energetic and just spunky in that nature, so overall I feel like Mei is a pretty terrific character, all things considered. She definitely is, again, the comic relief of sorts of the group, but then again, basically everybody is comic relief. But overall, I feel like her character was worth mentioning, and I can't wait to see more of her in future seasons of this series. I do need to talk about my all-time favorite character, though, from the entire thing, and that is Princess Iron Fan. If someone told me that Princess Iron Fan existed, I would have watched this a long time ago. I would have watched it immediately when it dropped, because Princess Iron Fan is such a good character. Not only is she an absolute powerhouse in terms of just regular fighting skill, she's just an amazing character, all things considered, especially in the finale of the series. I really enjoyed her kind of shift towards the good side a little bit. It kind of shows that she's not fully evil and that she's only just trying to, I guess, please her husband, the Demon Bull King, which I thought was pretty cool. She's trying to be there to support him, and she's trying to be there to help him, and when stuff goes wrong towards the finale and he ends up getting a little too evil for her taste and a little too powerful, she goes against him, which I feel like is a really good way to build her character. Overall, I feel like she's one of the best written characters in the entire thing so far, and I really love her design too. She's just a really awesome character, all things considered, and I feel like she's one of the best parts of this entire thing. Definitely have a lot of affection towards Princess Iron Fan there. She's easily the best character of the entire thing, at least in my own opinion. Stepping away from characters a little bit, we do need to talk about the big elephant in the room, the actual animation and the art style at hand here. The art style is very much kind of like a traditional Lego format if Lego was an anime, and that's basically how I would describe the series to someone that has never heard of it. Think Lego meets anime, and you have Monkie Kid. While Monkie Kid is based on, I guess, Eastern culture, it would make sense for them to include Eastern style animation, and just overall, this studio blows me away with how great the animation actually is. Apparently, this is from the same studio that made the recent Ninja Turtles series, which I haven't seen, nor do I want to see, but I've seen a little bit of the animation from that, and I can see where their influence comes from. The actual Monkie Kid animation is very fluid and very awesome to watch, especially I need to give praise to episodes 9 and 10. Absolutely blew me away with the animation. I was not expecting that to get that great, but it did, especially episode 9, I'd say. That's easily my favorite episode from the series so far, and part of that is because of the animation. I just felt like it was really good, and in episode 10 they reach like the maximum potential, and it just gets crazy. The animation is very fast-paced, and especially I need to give a big shout out to the long-distance shots, which look beautiful, the colors look amazing, just overall the entire animation and the art style I approve of. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. It does take a little bit of time to get used to, I'd say. Some parts of the animation and the art style are kind of weird to look at first, like the Lego hands and the Lego feet, but once you get past that, it's definitely worth it. Overall, this animation is terrific to watch, and I can't wait until this actually gets a release over here in the US, because I want to watch this on extremely high quality just to see how great it actually is. In terms of, I guess, where I watched it, again, just watching it online on YouTube, you don't get the best quality, and even right now with my video just showing screenshots, I'm not doing the animation justice. I wish that I could show more footage in this video. Unfortunately, due to copyright, I can't, but still, my praise is there, especially with the colors, the actual dynamic angles of the camera, the way that the characters move, the way that the characters interact in terms of their animation. It just makes for an awesome experience, and the animation is easily something that Monkie Kid, I guess, has over pretty much any other Lego series that's come out in recent years. The animation is terrific. Just some stuff that I really don't care for. Again, some of the characters are kind of weird. I don't really like everybody in the show. There are some people that I could do without. Some people in the main group really don't do it for me. The characters that I've listed are pretty much the only ones that I like. Everyone else I'm kind of iffy on right now in terms of if I like them, if I don't like them. Some of the story is a little boring too. Watching some of the episodes, you do get a little bit of, I guess, drag in the middle if you're watching them all at once. Towards the middle of the season, it kind of slows down a little bit, and a lot of the episodes really don't have anything to do with one another. They're kind of just random episodes here and there. In one episode, MK could be doing something entirely different from the previous episode. It really doesn't have a linear chronology, if that makes sense. And that kind of bothered me in a way, but overall it's not that big of a deal. I feel like this series is still really great in its own way. If I were to give it a score, I don't think I'm going to give it a number score, but in terms of a letter grade, I would give this either a high B+ or a low A-. I feel like this series is extremely great, and I can't wait to see more of what comes from it. Unfortunately, these sets really don't follow suit with the show. From what I've seen, the actual Monkie Kid sets aren't that great. I haven't really seen them in person at all because they're only Lego store store exclusives, I believe, but from what I've seen from pictures and reviews, a lot of them really don't, I guess, capture my attention as much as the actual show does. I will be getting some of the minifigures, though. The minifigures are terrific. I want MK, I want Mei, I want Princess Iron Fan, I want pretty much all the characters that I love, but I could do without everything else, if that makes sense. The sets really don't capture my attention too much, but this video really wasn't focused on the sets at hand. This video was focused on the show, and that's where I'm going to give my final verdict there. Again, I gave it a high B+, a low A-. This show's terrific. If you are a fan of Ninjago, I highly recommend checking out Monkie Kid. It's not anything like Chima or Nexo Knights or anything like that. It's absolutely something new. Again, it was kind of introduced as a new rival to Ninjago, but overall, it's not like the other ones. I actually found myself getting invested into this because it's genuinely good. There are good things to point out here. Again, I do need to give special shout outs to overall the characters, the animation, the colors, the actual voice acting at hand too. I forgot to mention that. There are some veteran voice actors in this thing. You got the main voice of Goku voicing Monkey King. That's just amazing to me. And just overall, there's some good stuff to find here. It's not bad in the slightest, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's just a fan of animation, Lego, or even Ninjago. If you're a fan of Ninjago, I feel like you could transition over to Monkey Kid pretty easily, while still liking both. With that being said, will I make any more Monkey Kid videos? Probably not. I kind of wanted to go ahead and check it out as it is and watch the whole thing and give my thoughts on it in this video, which I feel like I did. I'm not going to go ahead and probably make any theory videos regarding Monkey Kid or anything like that, but I said what I wanted to say. I feel like if you guys like Ninjago, you'll like Monkey Kid. I would recommend it to pretty much all of you. So that's going to wrap it up. That's going to be it for my overall thoughts on Monkey Kid, and let me know what you thought about this video, and let me know what you guys think of Monkey Kid in the comment section down below. With all that being said, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. As always, big shout out goes out to my Patreon supporters, including once again the marvelous Jan. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Once again, my name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.